Good afternoon. Welcome to Freedom High School's 48th commencement ceremony. My name is Esther Keaton, and I am the principal of Freedom High School. Our graduates have worked hard to be able to celebrate this day and to honor them and each other. We ask that you refrain from yelling excessively so that everybody's name can be heard. Please stand and remain standing until after the national anthem is sung by Brianna Archuleta and Joe Vertrees.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Guests and graduates, you may be seated. Thank you again for being here to celebrate with us. In addition to the hard work and support that's offered by family and friends, there are several people who work behind the scenes to help support our students in their quest for their high school diploma. As I call the names of our honored guests, please hold your applause until everyone's name has been called. Guests, please stand and be recognized when your name is called. Our Board of Education members, Barbara Peterson and Peggy Mueller-Aragon. Our APS leadership team, Scott Elder, Chief Operations Officer, and Debbie Elder, Executive Director of Office of Innovation. Our Freedom High School faculty and ancillary staff, Tony Berg, Patrick Carey, Michelle Cordero, Richard Faust, Gia Gilk, Pat Gonzalez, she's not here today, Laura Harger, Joan Leva, Tina Luke, Diana Russell, Seth Shapiro, Amanda Shaw, Melanie Tejas, and Joe Vertrees. And sitting up front, we have our Freedom High School staff, Ed Briggs, Eileen Burke, Anita Montano, Larry Montoya, Jacob Romero, Mary Jo Andrade, Manuel Solano, and Sally Whaling. Every year we showcase the art that our students produce and incorporate that art into the theme of our commencement ceremonies. In the past, the themes have centered on trees that grow stronger and spread their branches. The video that you saw a few minutes ago defines the journey that brought our graduates to this stage at this moment. During the first senior meeting of the school year, seniors began planning what they wanted their graduation ceremony to look like. They discussed what defined them and how best to illustrate their class. This year, our art was produced by a student who will be graduating this summer. Dolores Ramos, if you're here. She wasn't sure she was going to be able to make it. But she very expertly captured the essence of Freedom High School. And actually, the Phoenix was kind of foretelling. Every student sitting on this stage has a story to tell, and in a few minutes, you'll hear a few of them. This year, we had a little added drama. There was a fire that caused flooding at the Hispanic Cultural Center, which led to the uncertainty of whether or not we would be able to have our graduation ceremony at the center. And as you can see, it wasn't ready. And that's okay because we landed in this beautiful building and we get to be one of the first graduation ceremonies here, so it worked out for the best. Over the course of the year, as we were faced with obstacles, this particular group of students stood together to support each other and confront their problems head on. They learned to pace themselves and to accept the fact that the harder they worked, the luckier they got. Students in the PAC, the Principal's Advisory Committee, elected to have activities that would change the way that they were perceived by the community to kind of rebrand themselves and the school. They came up with different activities that gave us the opportunity to showcase who we really are. With the help of parents, staff, and community members, they researched the history of the school so that they could build on traditions while enhancing our future. As a result, we had our first annual Fall Festival, the first annual Multicultural Fair. We created partnerships with local businesses like A-Star Auto, the Rotary Club, My Life Works, Eco Schools USA, and APD. We updated the quote from a former principal, Mary Sullivan, and adopted respect, responsibility, and resilience to be our official school motto. Our students are living representatives of the Phoenix. They have demonstrated that they have the strength and fortitude to rise above any obstacle in order to reach their goals. Seniors, as we celebrate your successful completion of this stage in your life, take a minute to look around. Every person in this auditorium today had a hand in helping you become the person that you are right now. And on behalf of the staff, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your journey. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Richard Faust to introduce our student speakers.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2019 Freedom High School Commencement Ceremony. Graduation is always an extremely special time of the year when we gather the entire Freedom family together to celebrate the successes of our latest group of graduates. This evening, we have a wonderful group of student speakers who will be sharing with you what being a part of the Freedom family has meant to them. Before they speak, however, I have one final assignment for the graduating class, and possibly my first assignment for those of you in the audience. This is for everybody. I would like you to think about one person who loves you and supports you just the way you are. Are they in the auditorium in front of you? Are they sitting next to you? Or are they possibly in a room far away watching this ceremony on the internet? Regardless of where they are members of the Freedom family because they love and support you just the way you are. That is the way the Freedom family operates. You are welcome here, and we will help you succeed. Whether you're a goat farmer, a musician, or come to class dressed as Willy Wonka, we love that about you. And we just want to help you become the best goat-herding, guitar-playing Willy Wonka you can be. That is the Freedom way. All these unique, wonderful individuals make Freedom special. And now I would like to introduce a few that will share their stories with you tonight. Sure, clap away. Our first student speaker this evening is Desiree Fillmore. Desiree, clap some more. If I'm talking, just clap right over me, that's groovy, okay? Desiree is an incredibly hard worker, and she, this year, has been the secretary for every single club at Freedom High School and has single-handedly kept me on track, which I will really, really miss next year. And to tell you all about it, Ms. Desiree Fillmore.
Well, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Desiree Fillmore. I began my journey at Freedom on August 13th of 2017. Initially, it was a horrifying day for me because it was a fresh start with new people. I did not know whether or not this was going to be a good school or if everyone was going to hate me. However, my first day as I went to all my classes, I thought, wow, the teachers here are cool. But I was still too scared to talk to anyone. Consequently, one student that was at Freedom the last year did not even know who I was, but still welcomed me and started introducing me to people. More and more, and by the first month, I knew so many new faces and names. As I got to know everyone here, it was easier to talk, and I was less scared. Because of the close-knit Freedom community, I had more friends now than I ever had. When I started at Freedom, it gave me more hope than any school I have gone to, and that was great. As I got to know more about the school, I realized it is not just a school of people or friends. It is like a family. When you were in need of help, many people were there for you. When you needed someone to talk to or you were struggling, they would help you. The teachers did their best to help the students any way they could. People I often talk to have mistaken impressions of Freedom. People often think that Freedom is for troubled kids or kids who mess up at a normal public school. Nothing could be further from the truth. Freedom is a school for people to have a better education than they did at any other school. The students here have more responsibility, but also have more one-on-one time with their teachers. This school has done more for its students than any other public school. Because at Freedom, there are not students and teachers. There are just different members of the Freedom family. Therefore, I would like to take this time to thank every teacher for everything they have done for us. Every one of these teachers have taught us students. And because of them believing in us, we are here right now on this day. There are two specific teachers I would like to thank, though. One is Richard Faust. After my original advisor had left, I moved into his advisement. He helped me get to where I am and made sure I wasn't slacking. The other one is John Potter. I started in John Potter's advisement where he showed me the Freedom ways and helped me understand how to be successful. And because of that, I did well. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Harriet Tubman. We all have our dreams, and we always will. But the ones that will change our lives are the ones we have now. When we leave today, we are leaving to follow our dreams and make the difference that others have not. Finally, I would like to say, it is an honor to graduate with my classmates from Freedom High School. Thank you, class of 2019.
Another round of applause for Ms. Desiree Fillmore, please. Well, I might have irreparably screwed up something here. Fortunately, these things are numbered, so pardon me for a second while I unmess up what I just messed up. 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're back. Hi. That's what I get for trying to turn the page and be helpful. All right, our next speaker. The next speaker this evening, I've actually watched grow up. Known the next speaker for 11 years, I think. And I've watched him grow up and up and up. So it should leave you many questions of who's going to be coming up here. Next speaker is Brett Christiansi, the son of Jason Christiansi, former English teacher at Freedom High School. Something I never thought I'd be able to say about Brett. This is a man here who can really scoot around a corner. Mr. Brett Christiansi.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents, grandparents, welcome. Today is an exciting day because today you get to hear me give a speech. Today, graduates, you get to join the exciting world of fake adulthood. It's hard to imagine that a few years back, we were just starting high school with no idea what we wanted to do with our lives. Now, I'm going to share a very personal secret with you. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. But one thing I've learned over many years of high school is that you don't need to know exactly where you are going to know that you're on the right track. And just because we may not have our entire lives paved out in front of us in concrete details, doesn't mean we haven't all grown tremendously throughout our years here. The funny thing about growing is that you usually can't tell when it's happening to you. You know, no matter how hard you try, you'll never wake up one morning to discover you're an inch taller than the previous night. Growth and maturity take place gradually over time. We are defined by the little things, both good and bad, that we often do not even notice occurring. We're affected by the way people treat us, and in turn, how we treat others. The conversations we have with our friends and family make up our lives, and these small factors that build our personalities may seem relatively insignificant when singled out, but together they exemplify the beauty of individuality. Also in our lives are events that force you to change significantly. Hard times will hit and alter your entire perspective on reality. For me, those hard times hit when my mom, Gigi, was diagnosed with breast cancer. Mom was first diagnosed with cancer before I was in kindergarten. Through surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, she managed to overcome cancer after a year-long struggle. I did not realize at the time that this event would have such profound effects on me. My mom remained cancer-free until I was in middle school. At the start of 7th grade, the cancer had metastasized. This time, my mother would spend 3.5 long years fighting the cancer with chemotherapy and multiple procedures. She lost her battle on October 16th, 2017. Now, since I can remember, cancer has defined our family's livelihood and structure. Cancer has been a literal drive in my life. To lose someone that close, someone who still today defines my existence, was unbearable to me. Though our family has struggled to maintain a positive outlook, inside it was crippling. And this heavily impacted my academics from the start of 7th grade to the end of my junior year. Because after my mom died, life at my old school no longer felt worthwhile. I needed a fresh start. And when I transferred to Freedom, I found a welcoming community that fostered progressive learning while allowing me to make up courses I had failed at my old school. Had I stayed at my old school, I am certain I would not have graduated on time. But more importantly, I did not feel at home. I was unsocial and didn't participate in much extracurricular. But after coming to Freedom, my grades saw an immediate increase. Now I am an honors student, I'm vice president of the Speech and Debate Club, and this year I was elected prom king. Freedom is a place that I call home. I'd like to thank my teachers, Richard and Melanie, for pulling me through this year. Throughout my entire high school experience, no other teachers have showed me the same compassion that they have for all of their students. I believe the most important trait a teacher can have is compassion. And compassion is what I found here at Freedom. I'd also like to thank my sister Hannah. I know I might not be the best at showing it all the time, but you are a major motivational force in my life. I owe a huge thanks to my friends Ben, Anna, Casey, and Noah, who have been there since the beginning. And finally, I would like to thank my father, Jason, a former Freedom teacher. No other person has shown the same devotion to my well-being than my dad has. There were many times when I wanted to give up over these past 4 years of school, and every time without fail, my father has been the guiding light to show me the way through. I was saying before, experiences make up who you are as a person. Today, I have shared with you some of the significant experiences that shaped who I am. And right now, they might sound somewhat sad, but overall, they have made me a stronger individual. Maturity is not accomplished in one instance. Adulthood is the accumulation of experiences over time. And right now, as young adults, we are still building the experiences that will shape our futures. And this gathering of experience never really ends. You will never just become a finished adult. Today I shared with you the experiences that shaped who I am. But we all have our own experiences, happy and sad, that define our character. Again, I may have no idea what my future holds, but thanks to my experiences and thanks to those who came before me, I know I possess the tools to succeed. Thank you very much.
Brett Christiansi, ladies and gentlemen. All righty, let's see if I can do this time without dropping stuff on the stage. Success. Okay, our next speaker is about as good a definition as I can think of as the words poised and polished. She is a very proud Native American, and she has done an exceptional job of helping to introduce and teach her culture to the rest of the Freedom family. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Ms. Summer Larson.
Marowe. Yat e Summer Level Larson Unisha, Tachit ni Nishlan, Tok Oge Bashichin, Comanche Edashache, Ashihan Edashanalits, East Osa and Deshkish Williade Inasha. Good afternoon, my name is Summer Love Larson. I come here at Freedom High School. As today is a normal Tuesday for most of us, today it's a day of celebration and accomplishment. As soon as we walk out of this auditorium, it will be an end to our childhood and a beginning to an adulthood, which means I can no longer dream of being a princess. Before I get into how I am today, I'm going to give you a backstory of my life and education before freedom. In 2014 is when I started high school, and let me tell you, I was not ready. In middle school, I did not exert much effort into passing any of my classes because I knew that it wouldn't affect me. So I skipped class regularly. As you can already tell where the story is going, I carried those traits into my freshman year and completely ruined my chances of succeeding with my class. Not to mention that I came from a charter school where there wasn't many kids and limited studies due to the lack of money. My first day, all I heard from my teachers was, "All right, guys, you should have learned this in middle school." But I didn't, and that scared me. For the longest time, I blamed everybody but myself for not achieving my diploma on time. But today, I take full responsibility for everything. As a Native American, we are often looked at as less elite and a second-class citizen in our own country, and not fit for an American education. Although I've never heard those words specifically, actions do speak louder than words. Native Americans have a lower high school graduation rate. About 65 earn a high school diploma compared with 75% of the US population. Their college graduation rate is also lower, with a 9% earning a college degree compared with 20%. I want to say on behalf of my Native community, you can do it. Add to that percent as I am today. Go and get your college degree to prove to everyone that you're capable of doing what the next person can. Make them see your hard work and not your race. A quote to carry with you is, "I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position one has reached in life, but by the obstacles which he or she has reached which has had to overcome while trying to succeed." That was by Booker T. Washington. I want to say thank you to Freedom. You thanked me into a better version of myself. I realized a lot while I was here. Another quote that was told by me was by Melanie. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. Melanie led me to my success, so yes, figuratively, I was a horse. The resources were right in front of me, but it was up to me to take them. Ironically, at Freedom High School, you're not free. Well, at least if you have Melanie as an advisor. Overall, I would like to thank and acknowledge the teachers here at Freedom. I've never felt uncomfortable or intimidated here because they welcomed you on a personal level. Many people look at the school like it's a bad kid's school, and at first so did I. But I'm here to tell you today that without Freedom, many of us in these seats would not have been able to get a second chance. Thank you to my family for teaching me respect and self-discipline. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Summer Larson, everybody. Speech. No, that's the wrong one. Okay. Sorry, working backwards here now. All right. Okay, I'm good. Hi. All right. It's a good thing these student speakers have their stuff together and look good because I'm making this look ridiculous. Anyway, our next student speaker who also looks wonderful, boy, the list of accomplishments of this student is dramatic. She was the ESL Student of the Year, and she has been a tireless advocate for the Ethnic Studies program. She took it as an extra elective despite having fulfilled all her elective requirements, and she spoke at the National Association of Chicana and Chicano Studies Conference this year in support of that program. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Tanya Treviso.
Hello, welcome to Freedom's 2019 graduating class. I want to congratulate every single graduate here. It was a rough journey, but somehow we all landed on top, and now we're on the road to building our dreams and desires. I am here tonight to say that Freedom is the place to make our dreams come true. We are not the kids who just messed up. We are here to realize our dreams of earning our diplomas. Sometimes people have judged us to be different because of the color of our skin, our sexuality, our gender, or which the country we were born. Nothing or no one can stop us from reaching our goals. The teachers at Freedom helped us believe in ourselves when few people did. Thank you, Freedom teachers. My journey to freedom began when my family was forced to move from Arizona to New Mexico. In my last high school, I felt like nobody paid attention to me or helped me. Again, I was scared about having to move, but this time, I was moving schools instead of states or countries. At Freedom, I felt accepted for the first time. In my advisor and teacher, Melanie's ethnic course, I learned more about accepting others and learned how we're all in a struggle. I learned how our differences make us special. It is just not me alone, but we're all dreamers. Nuestros sueños son más grandes que una pared. We want to thank our friends and family for all of your support you have all given us. Amaya Pa, gracias por apoyarme todos estos años. Y a mi familia los amo. Y todos mis amigos los quiero. And I want to congratulate to class of 2019.
Tanya Treviso, everybody. All righty. Aha, found it. Okay. We're good to go. The final student speaker of the evening is the absolute embodiment of the word fearless. You ever see one of those little dogs that goes and attack like some pit bull or Rottweiler? That's her. Sonja would attack everything with gusto. She was not afraid to take on any class at any time. I first met her as her physics teacher when Patrick was out becoming a cyborg, and she worked her butt off to make certain that everything she did was not just done, but done well. I later had the privilege of having her in an English class, and she has succeeded everywhere she has gone because she has no fear of working hard. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Sonja Torres.
Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes a todos. Welcome to our graduation ceremony. Bienvenidos a nuestra graduación. First of all, let me start off by saying congratulations to all of us who are graduating. This is a major step in the journey of our lives. We all worked hard to get to this day, and our work did not go to waste. A high school diploma is a wonderful thing to have. It will open various doors of opportunities for anyone who worked hard to earn one. For many of us, this is not the end of our educational journey. And for many of us, it will not stop here. We will continue our education by going to college or other programs. Graduation has shown us how capable we all are of accomplishing our goals we commit. The road ahead of us won't be easy. There will be obstacles and missed exits. For some of us, for some of us going into college, there will be times when each of us will feel like we can possibly not go on. There will be times that some of us think we are alone. However, all of us here on this stage can use this memory of this day, this accomplishment, this jumpstart. Como dicen, que te ponga las pilas. We won't give up. We made it this far by refusing to give up. We won't give up now. Make the best decision that you're interested in. Believe in yourself, that you can reach what you dream of. We already taken the first step, which is graduating from high school. Now it's time for the next step of our journey, which is to build our future. This has been a long journey for me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. At my previous school, I would ditch mostly all the time for my second semester freshman year. At that moment, I knew I was going to fail in my classes. I worried, but yet I continued to ditch. I knew it would be hard to catch up, especially at a regular high school. One day, I started looking for a new school to help me graduate on time. I came across Freedom High School, an amazing school with amazing teachers. Without the teachers at Freedom High School, this school would not be the same. Our teachers shaped this school into our paths to graduate, like my advisor, Seth. Seth constantly ensures that his advisory stays on track and is improving, not just to settle for a minimum achievement, but giving it our all. Without Seth, I will not be speaking with everyone today. Another strong influence was my English teacher, Melanie Teyes. I'm not going to lie, English was never my strong suit, especially with Spanish being my first language. But with Melanie, I understood how to use my strongest form, communication, writing, speaking correctly, and professionally. Truly, without Melanie, I will not be capable standing before you today, delivering this speech. Not only that, but from coming from special ed for English to coming to Freedom and being in Melanie's Read 180 class, to passing my park. This is only one way Melanie has impacted my life. If it wasn't for Freedom High School, I do not know if I will be here before you speaking at this graduation. We, the graduating class, would like to thank all the teachers who taught us so much and pushed us to do great and finish school on time. I also want to thank you, Donna,
Thank you for everything you have done for me and continue to do. You have impacted my life in so many good ways. You motivated me to do better and as well show me no matter what happens in life, to never give up. You have told me that I'm capable of doing anything I set my mind on. Thank you for everything you do, and I also want to thank my family. They have been my motivation to do well in school. Gracias, Pa y Ma, por siempre estar en mi lado. Apoyándome en todo. Ustedes son mi motivación para hacer bien en la escuela y en la vida. Ustedes significan todo para mí y siempre han estado ahí para mí cuando lo necesito. Gracias por todo. Los quiero mucho. And let's take a moment to thank all those support systems in our lives. Lastly, I know I've made mistakes in the past, but if it wasn't for those mistakes, I wouldn't be here at my graduation talking to you guys. As quoted by Steve Maraboli, we all made mistakes, have struggles, and even regret things in our past. But you are not your mistakes, you are not your struggles, and you are here now with the power to shape your day. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Let's have another big round of applause for all our student speakers from this evening. And now let's get Esther up here to get these people graduated. What do you say?
Those were amazing speeches. I don't think there was a dry eye in the room. Actually, if I could have the board members, Barbara Peterson and Peggy Mueller-Aragon, please come to the podium. I would like to present the class of 2019. They've met all the graduation requirements set forth by Albuquerque Public Schools, the Board of Education, and the New Mexico Public Education Department. To you, I present the class of 2019.
On behalf of the Albuquerque Public School Board of Education, we are absolutely thrilled to accept the 2019 graduating class of Freedom High. We know you will do great things. We need you. We depend on you. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you. Felicidades a todos. Y recuerden que su vida espera. Your life awaits you. Make it a good one.
Forever.
this is the fun part. All righty, let's start with Desiree Fillmore. Brett Christiansi. Summer Larson. Treviso. Gotcha. Okay. Tanya Treviso. I'm practicing. Sonja Torres. Marisol Acosta. Taryn Aragon. Kimberly O'Ray. Kayan Baker. Hannah Beal. Derek Brown. Timothy Ickes. Jadarius Edwards. Michael Elias. Ashlyn Fillmore. Carmen Fitz. Janae Gomez. Jacob Hiltz. Jonas Hartamil Smith. Brayley Love. Caleb Martinez. Joseph Morninggood. Nicholas Nunez. Katie Ortiz. Miriam Pettis. Amber Rohan. Peter Sandoval. Mariah Santianes. Hannah Songenberg. Yeah. And that will be all. Just kidding. Carlos Villa.
Can we have our Student of the Year come forward? Let's wait until they're finished. Last picture. Hang on 1 second. Okay, now.
Graduates, please remain standing. The practice of turning the tassel indicates the shift from being a candidate to being a graduate. Congratulations to the class of 2019. We have completed our high school education and are ready for the world. You may turn your tassel from right to left to signify you are a high school graduate.
Thank you for participating in our 48th graduation ceremony. Audience, please remain in your seats until the graduates have exited.